Welcome back to the Road to National series. In today's episode, I'm going to take you through an upper dynamic workout. So the variation for this 3-week dynamic wave is a 3-inch board press, and that's because I'm wanting to work on my top end strength and just getting disgustingly strong at being able to lock out pretty much anything I can get off my chest. So for this week, I've got 80% of my 1 rep max for 3 sets of 5. 80% is the bar and band tension added together in total, and these moved great. I've also got my new calibrated plates, which I'm very excited to have. The old plates, as you can see, are in a stack, and they will be out the way for next workout, but I literally just leave them here for this workout because moving all the calibrated plates up into the gym is like 460 kilos. That was like tiring, and then I didn't want to have to move all the other plates back down before I train, so I'll move them before tomorrow's workout. But moving on to the accessories. The first accessory here is overhead Swiss bar tricep extensions. So this is the most amount of reps I've ever been able to get at this sort of weight using 60 kilos. I normally use 55 kilos and I've managed to get sets of like 10 at that, but I managed to get sets of 8 at 60 kilos this week, which is a great improvement. I have gone as heavy as 65 kilos on this, but I was only able to get like triples or sets of 4. Your strength drops off massively with an exercise like this, which is so isolating to the triceps, but was very happy with this and plan on just slowly progressively overloading. Next workout, I'll try and get sets of 10 at 60 kilos on those overhead Swiss bar extensions. So happy with those. Then moving on to the next accessory here, I did barbell rows and I went heavier than I have done in ages. Now I have done 120 kilo barbell rows before, but I was using way more momentum. I was like swinging my upper body loads and I was only able to get like sets of 6 or 8. However, here I managed to get sets of 12, I think, and then like little shrugs, just trying to eke out some extra tension and pain into the upper back, but I'm feeling like my upper back strength has come on massively. I've spoken about this in other episodes when concerning lat pull downs. My lat pull down strength has shot up, and to be honest, these move the way that 100 kilos used to move in barbell rows, both in terms of reps and the way that it felt. So it's nice that I'm about like 20 kilos stronger from the start of this year. So these were feeling great. Then the next accessory here is chest press. So I went heavy on these as well. This is the heaviest my weight stack will currently go to at 260 pounds. And I think I managed to get 11.5 reps on this first set and then like 11 reps on the second set. So again, this chest pressing strength is developing massively. Before I bought a weight stack upgrade, my weight stack used to only go to 210 pounds. And I think I only managed to get that for a similar amount of reps as this. So again, my chest pressing now is like 50 pounds stronger. All of these progressions in accessories are definitely carrying over into the big 3, my squat, bench and deadlift. But one thing that is also contributing that I wanted to talk about was calorie surplus. So I have been basically slowly, consistently gaining weight throughout these last 3 months as well. And I think that there is a misconception that fat makes you strong. That is not the case, but the thing that makes you fat, a calorie surplus, is also what fuels you for your workouts. So the gaining of weight, I don't think that in particular is what makes you stronger, but it's just a side effect of a calorie surplus, and being in a surplus makes a marked difference with how hard I can push in workouts and how I've been able to progress over the last 3 months. So I am planning on entering a deficit, but when I do that, I'm basically just going to try and do that for a short period and to maintain strength. I think it's so hard to try and gain strength, to try and be at your all-time strongest and progressively overload in a deficit. It just feels very hard. So that is another reason why all of my accessories have gone up massively. And I am planning on dropping back a bit. I mean, I've not gained a ridiculous amount of weight, but I've definitely developed a bit of a power belly one might call it. So the next accessory here, as you've been seeing, are loo raises, and I've been doing them with the dumbbells. Now 10 kilos is literally as heavy as I can go on these. I've got 15 kilo dumbbells, but I can only do like 1 rep on them. So obviously that is not what I'm going to train. I'm not going to just do them for 1 rep. So the first set I managed to get, I think, a set of 10 or 12, and then on this second set I do a drop set with the 5 kilo dumbbells. Now these target the shoulders like nothing I've ever done before. I think that added top range of motion compared with a normal side lateral causes the delts to contract way more than normal. So when you're doing usual side laterals, like the delts can contract way more. They can shorten basically way more into that top position, and these loo raises definitely hit that. And I found them very effective at burning the shoulders out. Like going on from these, my next accessory is bicep curls, and I was struggling to like hold the biceps by the dumbbells for the bicep curls next to my sides. That was actually the hardest part of the bicep curls because these loo raises had burnt the shoulders out so much. So if you've not given them a try, I definitely suggest trying loo raises for your shoulders. Obviously they're very light at the moment, and you might want to do heavier shoulder accessories as well. I'm going to introduce that more as well, like shoulder pressing. I did that a few weeks ago and it actually aggravated my shoulders a bit, so I've been a bit tentative to go back at that, and things like loo raises seem to just pump up the shoulders and burn them out without causing me any pain in my shoulder. But if you're wanting to do lighter isolation work as well on your shoulders, I definitely recommend doing loo raises. So the next accessory, as I mentioned here, was bicep curls. So I did alternating dumbbell bicep curls just at 20 kilos. So my biceps were progressing massively in strength workout to workout. And then I think I might have like overtrained them because I was able to move like the 25 kilo dumbbells a week or two ago, about the same as how I moved the 20 kilo dumbbells here. So I think I've maybe come back to bicep training a bit too aggressively. I didn't train them for like 3 years, 4 years, something like that, before starting this series and before the beginning of this year. So it's only been like 3 months back to bicep training, and they made huge progress. Like from the beginning of this year, I couldn't even have done what I'm doing now with the 15 kilo dumbbells, but I got up to the 25 kilo dumbbells, and then they've just regressed a tiny bit. And I think that's because I've maybe been overtraining them a bit too much, and probably because I need to switch up the variation. I've basically just been doing dumbbell bicep curls, but they still went well. Still got a massive pump in the arms, and the arms have grown massively. They're like an inch bigger than they were 3 months ago at the beginning of this year when I started this series. They were about 17 inches cold and 17.5 inches pumped, and now they're like 18 inches cold and 18.5 pumped. So that is another way of measuring progressive overload, by the way, is just take objective body measurements like that. So the final accessory here was sit-ups. Now my abs were actually experiencing some DOMs from the workout earlier on in the week, from my max effort workout where I'd done the heavy cable crunches. So I only did 1 set at the end here. I was tempted to skip them, but I decided instead to at least get 1 set in. So just did that there. And that's pretty much it for today's workout. I hope you did in fact enjoy the video. If you did, drop it a like, drop it a comment, subscribe, click the bell, all of that good stuff, and have a great day.